with the Monster Factory, basically feeding all of your talent to these companies. Is there ever a side of you that kind of wants to work hand in hand with these companies in terms of there's a performance center for WWE, so is Monster Factory for say ROH or New Japan or anyone
Well,
else?
the plan was years ago in 2014 or 15, Kevin Kelly came to me for that very thing that we were going to be the NXT for Ring of Honor. And then in 2018, they hired me to run their dojo and run it and make it like the performance center. But there were some people there who didn't want that, so they found a way to get me fired. So it's interesting. Yeah. But I would love to, but everything's going to be on my terms. And a lot of people in wrestling don't like that. They want things done their way. But if you're hiring me to be a coach, I'm very successful. So let me coach. So if they let me do my thing and do it my way, I would do it in a heartbeat. But I doubt they will. That's the thing, because that's just the way wrestling is. It's a weird business. It's very backwards. If I owned a business and I saw someone as successful as me, who's an entrepreneur himself and runs a business himself, I would be like Ring of Honor tried to do. They're like, here, we're going to give you this, go run it. And you're going to run it great because you've run your company great for the last X amount of years. Go lift this ship up too. Because a lot of people that are coaches have no experience doing what I do. You know, they just get fed people and they go in there for a couple hours and coach them and then they leave. When I have the encapsulation of all the business side of everything, because I came from not making it in pro wrestling and I've made it in pro wrestling. Like I wasn't given opportunities, I made opportunities. And that's what a lot of people don't realize in wrestling is all these people that go on to WWE and all this and all that, they got their names by WWE and all that and all this. I got my name by me. You know, what I did was real. I got everybody out to all these other places. So why wouldn't somebody want to latch on to me? But again, wrestling is backwards. It's just backwards. And if I was like in Hollywood, I would be somewhere right now, like directing this or doing that and all this. Like they would just gobble me up. And or if I was a football coach or a basketball coach, because that stuff's real. Pro wrestling, they're just like, now. The only people that know what we're doing is people that have been here when I've proven them wrong for the last decade.
Is there a sense of animosity?
Yes, absolutely. I have a huge chip on my shoulder. And here's why the chip is on my shoulder. When I was sending them people years and years ago, I contacted them and said, hey, I'd love to come up and head coach or get a guest coaching gig and just come by and check it out. And they're like, no, we don't do that. When they do, they didn't think I was good enough to do that. So they brought me in basically as a tourist and told me I could come down and visit. And then when I came down and visit, I had said, hey, I would like this to happen. And, you know, the guy's not there anymore, but he told me that like, hey, once you do get people signed from your company from this point on, we will give you money. And they still haven't paid me at all for any student I've ever sent there. So that's where the animosity kicks in. And then it's just disrespect because ever since then, I've also been emailing about, hey, I'd love to come by and guest coach again. They're like, yeah, we'll keep you in mind, you know, waiting for the country to open back up. And then now they don't answer my emails. So, yeah, I got animosity, especially like when I look on the TV and my people are there, but I'm not good enough for you.
Okay. Has it always been, have you tried the other companies? Or is it just so?
Everybody's going to be like that. They're backwards. Like I said, what I do is real. So I'm not respected as much as like the people that go play fight. I know it's weird, but that's what it is. I wasn't there. I can't tell the stories of being at WrestleMania. I can't tell the stories about being on the jet with Vince McMahon. I can't tell the stories about agenting in this match or doing that match. I can only tell the stories about having, you know, coached more people in the last decade than anybody, got more people signed than anybody. I've written and produced more shows than anybody. I've done everything, spent more hours training students than anybody, but that's not good enough because I didn't go to Madison Square Garden and wrestle there in 1989 or something. So again, that's why it's backwards. And there is a chip on my shoulder, but it's not going to make me like, it doesn't fuel me. Like I was doing this no matter what.
Right.
But you know, I was a coach I've had the same thoughts that I have now about the way coaching should be in 2011, 12, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23. And it's never going to change. And, it's just my take on it. It's just, it doesn't fuel me. It's just another thing there. I do what I'm doing because I love pro wrestling, not because people are doubting me. It just doubting me is just another thing where I just go, everybody's not right. Some people are
Right.
stupid. It's okay. You know, it's the whole Ted Lasso thing. Be curious, not judgmental. Too many people are judgmental about what I do in wrestling, as opposed to just sitting there and being like, "Why is he doing that? Oh, I see. Oh, wow, he's really, yeah, he's got a point."